Ho! What is up, you guys? My name is Blissful and welcome to my furry Protogen. That's right. I got this game because Rail was playing it, and I wanted to see more, so I figured why not. Now, like him, I'll probably go through a quick summary in the when the video starts or something like that about the first 30 minutes of the game, since there's going to be a lot of talking about the backstory type of deal. So I don't know if I'll add all that in or not like that, but basically, I don't know. We're about to find out. So I figured, why the hell not? So without further ado, here we go. Oh yeah, and I got the 18+ patch because I am a boy. And also, Juno is just a beautiful, so I figured my foxy self would try and date her as well, since I'm not. Jesus! Wow! What is up, you guys? Like I said in this video right here before I paused it, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right now because it is about a good 30 minutes of dialogue. Straight, nothing at all, just straight dialogue and just background art. But this is a fantastic game as well, and at the same time, I had to drop this audio, the background audio for the music, down to about 15% in post because it was so freaking loud. Anyway, basically to sum it all up, the main character, your protagonist that you name in the game, is a quote-unquote chosen one from the era of when he was about 3 years old. And he lived this life up till he was about 20, until he eventually had a breakdown at his 20th birthday party, which normally was spent with everybody, but for some reason, since he was the chosen one, he was put on a pedestal and to save everyone, not allowed to do anything, not allowed to basically date, not allowed to make his own decisions or even take his own path in life. So he eventually, as most people would do, has a mental breakdown in the middle of a speech he prepared and tell everyone what they want to hear, but instead tells them what he wants to tell them. So basically everything is, he believes that God, his gods, aka the Mother of Heaven and Lit, don't exist and stuff like that, and tells the entire village this. So at the same time, when he finally does run and he meets our proto girl, who we're about to meet here in a second, yeah, he's a little reluctant to take her back to his village, and that's what spins off the rest of the game. So if you guys want to go check the rest of the beginning of this game out, you can go check out Rail's full video, or you can actually just go out and get the game. It's only like 3 something, so might as well. So yeah, anyway, back to you guys in this fantastic, beautiful furriness. Bye bye. I'll take my chances without you. Suddenly, as soon as I finished, I heard a loud bang somewhere nearby down the river. I almost fell into the water, jumping so high from surprise. Goosebumps rolled down my back and my mouth went dry. I got to my feet, staring into the thicket of the forest in the direction in which the sound came. No animal could possibly make such a sound, and certainly couldn't have been made from the forest itself. There were 2 options: either there were people here, or the mythical Mother of Heaven in Lit, which I didn't even believe, decided to give me a sign in this way. I slowly went in the direction in which I heard the bang. I made my way through the thickets and came to the clearing near the riverbank. What appeared before my eyes didn't look like human or an animal. Okay, never mind, just answered my question there. It was a huge metal object with flashing lights in different colors. It somewhat resembled a boat, but much larger. Maybe it was all just my imagination. Maybe there was nothing here. Maybe I just hit my head when I fell. On the other hand, how did I manage to fall in such a way? Hello, baby! Ah, she is immaculate. I love her. I just now noticed her little doober. She's got a little smiley face. Her visor's a smiley face. At that moment, a creature came from behind the huge piece of metal object. It moved with 2 legs and looked very... Again with a yawning! Why the hell do I yawn when I read so much? 2 legs, and it looked very much human, but obviously wasn't one. This creature had a weapon behind its back and armor plates covering its entire body. The face was hidden behind a helmet on which yellow lights were flashing. For a few moments, I just stood there, not knowing what to do. I was afraid. Rather, it was just a stupor. Who was this, and what was it doing here? She is fucking adorable. Oh. The creature, judging by its shape, was female. She noticed me and rushed towards me. She then said something, but I didn't understand a word. Everything she said resembled one syllable, pronounced in different intonations. I somehow forced myself to get a grip and blinked. I'm sorry, are you talking to me? The girl, as far as I could tell from her impressive breath, exclaimed something and laughed, raising her hand and pressing something on her helmet. Oh, sorry, I didn't think to switch my helmet to the right mode. I've never been to this planet before. I've not had a chance to communicate with the locals. Are you a local? What sex are you? Do you have names? Names here. You're an intelligent species, aren't you? I blinked again, feeling extremely strange, as if I was in some absurd dream. God, what is with the volume? Well, yes, I guess I'm intelligent. The girl in the helmet laughed. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. You've probably never seen my kind. Oh, where are my manners? I immediately pounced with questions. Yeah, you can pounce on something. So let's replay everything. I'll start over, okay? Hi, my name is NV0903. I'm a Protogen scientist traveling around the galaxy to collect information about fauna and flora on different planets. Could you repeat it? NV0903, but you can call me Juno. Or probably 0903, that would make more sense. I assume you have names here, right? What's your name? My name's Blitz, and I'm, well, just a human. Boring. Juno nodded understandingly and smiled. Oh, well, if you're human, then I guess you're a male, right? I shrugged my shoulders. I guess so? Well, yes, I'm a guy. How old are you? I'm sorry, I completely forgot that people look like, what people look like. I haven't encountered them for so long. There's no more of them in this galaxy at all. Are you a juvenile specimen? I shook my head. If this was a delusional dream of some kind of hallucination from hitting my head, then at least I wanted to keep control of the situation. Oh wait, stop calling me that. I'm Blitz. And who are you? I've never seen anything like you. As I said, I'm a Protogen science. We are an intelligent species of cyborgs from a very far corner of the universe. Your planet is poorly studied. My species visited it some time ago, but then... Mother of Heaven and Lit. They're Protogens. Okay, everything was different here, and there was not much nature in it. Wow. It's so exciting. I guess there are more animals now, right? Oh, well, of course, there are no people here back then either. I smiled nervously. I hope I don't want to enslave us or something like that. The moment I thought with horror the elder's prediction from Lit could be true, that I left the village brought trouble to the planet, and now aliens from outer space would destroy us. Goosebumps ran down my spine, even the hair on my head stirred with fright. But Juno looked at me like I was an idiot. Although I couldn't see her face, it seemed to me that all her emotions were conveyed by her helmet, and laughed out loud. What? No. I'm a scientist and researcher. I study and document all the planets I travel to. This is our universal mission and even a hobby. We Protogens don't enslave anyone. Don't worry. No, that's the Primogens. Ah, well, then. That's good. That's real good, I guess. Thank you. What stage of technology progress are you at now? What energy do you use? I blinked again. What are you talking about? Well, I guess you're not even the type 1. Damn, I'm sorry. Forget what I said. Everything has to come naturally. Your kind has to figure it out yourself. I'm forbidden to share knowledge. A friend of mine got to a planet a couple decades ago whose inhabitants hadn't even invented the wheel yet, and quickly told them everything about how to evolve as soon as possible. As soon as she did, such chaos began there. It was horrible. So it is better that not to tell you anything important. You will have to do everything yourself. What are you talking about? Am I dreaming? No, why? Haven't you been in contact with other intelligent species before? Well, except for the Kugels, but they're not that intelligent, just very clever animals. Cool. How interesting. And who is that? They're kind of a fish person, fish people, but they are not exactly fish. In short, they live underwater and they're smart creatures. Although I have to study them later, that sounds really interesting. By the way, your planet is quite beautiful. Where are you from? Do you have a settlement here? Yes, about an hour's walk away, maybe a bit more, in the Northern Valley. We are the largest community in this part of the planet. We have a small planet, but it's great. We start sooner and finish faster, right? When do we start? As I said, I have to write down all the information about this planet's nature, or at least everything I can get to. Could you take me to your elders or whoever's in charge of your village? I can't do that. And of course, I couldn't bring some creature with metal all over its body, and they would definitely burn me at the ritual bonfire. Why do you need them? You see, it's going to be hard for me alone. Usually, if there's an intelligent race on the planet, I ask the local community for a companion as a guide and assistant. Things are much easier this way. Juno looked at me expectantly, and I realized that I didn't know what to say to her. On the one hand, I could take her to the village and stay there, then somehow explain my behavior and ask the villagers for forgiveness. In this way, I had to beg for permission to stay where I escaped from only yesterday. Of course, I didn't want to continue such an existence, but if I wanted to survive, I had no choice. But at the same time, I suddenly realized that this was my chance. Maybe this is a signal that the Mother of Heaven sent me, in the form of a strange girl who is standing in front of me right now and asking for help. I've always dreamed of traveling, dreamed of seeing the world. When else would I get such an excellent opportunity? After all, she probably had some food, or she was someone who was prepared for long trips. Well, creature, Protogen, it didn't matter. Also, I had such a unique chance to communicate with an alien from outer space. She was a real intelligent being right here, completely unlike a human. More precisely, she looked completely different and somehow similar to us at the same time. I understood that starting a friendship with a lie was no good, and it didn't work at all with people, but I couldn't stop myself. You know, I don't need the village. Actually, you're awful lucky. The thing is, well, you could say the second most important person in the village. I was lying godlessly, hoping Juno wouldn't see it. She said that she hadn't seen people for a long time. Maybe she didn't remember how they could lie. Are you great, then? It's a long walk back to the village. We'll go next time. You can count on me. I'll help you myself. I'll be your guide. It's not difficult for me. I know our planet inside and out. I'd like to know you inside and out, my dear. My own lies made my ears burn with shame. What did I know? Nothing. No territories, no plans. I only knew something about animals, berries, and mushrooms. On the first joint outing, my lie would be revealed, but once I started, it would be too late to retreat. After all, this could be my last chance to escape. Plus, this is just great. I didn't expect to be so lucky. Are you sure you know everything's here? My eyes on Juno's helmet narrowed. The eyes on her helmet narrowed suspiciously. I immediately realized that I myself had absolutely no idea how to read if she's lying or being honest. I had never seen aliens like her and couldn't read their helmet expressions very well. What if she didn't believe me? I decided to lie till the end. Of course! I'm sure you won't regret it. I've lived here all my life. I'll tell you everything. Don't worry, don't even worry about it. I smiled a little bit too broadly, reminding myself of my father and his too wide smiles, and held out my hand to Juno. Well, do we have a deal? Juno looked at my outstretched palm and smiled. We do. I was still holding my palm, waiting for a handshake, and Juno was standing opposite and smiling. And what? Won't you shake my hand? Juno blinked. Why? We seal the deal, I assume. I will go with you and help you, and you, well, you will help me not perish in all these forests. Something like that. Juno shrugged, still not understanding what I was asking her, but held out her hand. No, not this hand, the second one. Juno was surprised. What's the difference? This is inconvenient. Here, see, that's better. Her hand was soft, warm and soft. Well, shall we go? Let's go, but where? At the moment, I was a little confused and looked around. Where should we go? Definitely not in the opposite direction. There was nothing to do there. There was nothing particularly interesting in this forest. There was our settlement nearby, and the animals tried to stay away from people. Besides, I didn't really want to run into foresters or hunters from our settlement. In that case, they would definitely report everything to the village, and a delegation would shortly be sent to follow Juno and I. What if they attacked her or started a war with an alien race? No, it was better to stay away from them. We could start from the other shore. There's a forest further on where all the sorts of little animals live. You're interested in that, aren't you? We can look for fangies. They're everywhere right now. It's mating season. Fangies, interesting. I'll write that down. Juno pressed the button on her helmet and an image of letters appeared in front of her. I watched in amazement as she wrote something down without using either ink or a pencil. Oh, you probably haven't seen this. It's a hologram. Don't worry. I reached out to touch it, but it just passed right through my fingers. Whoa, cool. Where does it come from? Well, it's easy. There's a special light bulbs in my helmet that create an image. Well, shall we go? I looked one more time at the strange thing the hologram, and tried to catch it with my fingers, but didn't succeed. Of course, let's go. At this moment, my stomach groaned loudly from hunger. I remembered that I hadn't eaten since yesterday and missed the usual, always on schedule breakfast. Heat burned my cheeks, and I realized that Juno had heard the sound too. Listen, do you happen to have anything to eat in your huge metal thing? Juno looked at me and bursted out laughing again. Okay, let me look for something. There should be something left. I guess some fruit, as I recall. Let's go. What is this thing, by the way? Does it fly? Yes, it's called a jet. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's a cool thing. You'll like it. Only I can open it, though, with my palm prints. No one can access it. Juno walked over to the jet and put her hand on the side. At the moment, the panel slid away, making it possible to enter. Whoa, I've never seen anything like that. Actually, this is an old model. I should buy a new one. I got it so long ago. Such an unkillable thing. It's important to me as a memory, you know? I call it Pixie. Why Pixie? I don't know. I like it. It's my best friend. Juno laughed, and I couldn't figure out what she was talking about. How could a huge steel thing be her best friend? When we were inside, I suddenly realized, wait, is this thing alive? Goosebumps ran down my back as soon as a living creature would fly through space. Moreover, now I was inside the thing, this Pixie, and I didn't like it at all. It was like being inside a mythical beast, a giant animal that looks like a walking house with armor instead of skin and horns on its head. But Juno saw the panic on my face and burst out laughing. You should see the look on your face, just hilarious. No, Bliss, don't worry, it's not alive, although I would really like it to be alive. Sometimes I just want to chat with someone, well, chat with a living being, not a, welcome back, Juno. Glad you're back so soon. I jumped in fright. I barely had time to step into the huge metal thing as a strange sounding voice rang from everywhere. Juno smiled. Don't worry, Pixie, it's me. Don't worry, it's just Pixie. Hi, Pixie. I wasn't planning on coming back so soon, but I met a representative of the local species. Meet Blitz. He is a human. Hello, Blitz. Human. Nice to meet you. I am Pixie, an artificial intelligence assistant. What the heck is that? Looked around with wide eyes, trying to figure out where the hell the voice was coming from and who was talking to me. The inside of Pixie was clean and very beautiful. It all resembled the hold of a ship from books I read at school. But it was much more than that. Juno opened a cabinet and took out a box. Pixie is an artificial intelligence that lives on my jet. Well, he doesn't really live literally. He's not real. It's something like, let me think. Do you have any talking birds? Thought about it a bit. Well, yes, we do. We call them talkies. But they don't really talk. They only imitate the voice. They live in the south, not here. Well, my Pixie is almost the same. He doesn't speak for real. He kind of just imitates speech. He helps me with the ship and research, and I can also chat with him sometimes if I get bored. Actually, I talk to him all the time. Traveling through space alone, you know, I can kind of be boring. Imagine that there is only endless emptiness and silence around you, and not a single living soul until you reach the next station for refueling. Juno pointed with her hand in something resembling a chair. I didn't know what it was, and I sat there, talking to a box she handed me. Help yourself. These are fruits, still very fresh. I specially froze them as soon as I picked them. I hope you like them. I put on a smile, still feeling weird, and opened the box. Inside were bright red pieces of some fruit unknown to me. It was unbelievable, a fruit from another planet. I turned a piece over in my hands, looking at its veins before putting it in my mouth. After chewing it, I shrugged. It isn't bad. It reminds me of the droplet berries in some way. Later, I'll show you a tree full of them. Sounds great. Now hurry up. We still have much to do. Juno was fussing over the jet. She was clearly impatient to start the trip as soon as possible. She fished out a large closet, something that looked like a bag, and shoveled in a few items, and the purpose of which I didn't know. What are you doing? I'm collecting provisions for you. I didn't think that I'd find a traveling companion so quickly. That's why I didn't prepare anything. But we probably won't go far today, right? I'll take a bit of everything. You'll wear a backpack. It shouldn't be heavy. I hope you're in good physical condition. Oh, Juno, my dear. I've been training since I was 3. Juno looked at me, still eating a piece of fruit. Well, yes, I'm sure it won't be hard. I continued to lie shamelessly, but what could I do? Should I say that I had never gone further than the edge of my village in my life? Then Juno would definitely send me back home, or even toss me away. I didn't want any of that. Moreover, there were so many new and interesting things here. I'd never seen anything like it, and I probably wouldn't see it ever again if I was forced to leave. Fortunately, Juno didn't recognize the lie in my voice and grinned. Great! See how lucky I am? Oh, I wish I was like that everywhere. On one of the planets in a neighboring galaxy, I was almost crucified when I came to ask them for help. Locals seemed to intelligent, but very aggressive. They decided that I was some kind of deity from the underworld and tried to kill me. They almost cut my feet off, too. Well, you have a hard job. Juno shrugged her shoulders. But I do what I like. By the way, what do you do? Do you already have a job? I tried to make up something as soon as possible. Yeah, no, actually, I'm still studying. I study science, something like that. We have a lot of work in the village, but I haven't had the chance myself to do any of the real work yet. It was only a partial truth, partly true. There really was a lot of work in the village, fishing, farming, hunting, and carpentry, but I wasn't allowed to do anything. So that I didn't get hurt anywhere, didn't break anything, didn't bother myself, and most importantly, didn't get distracted from my main job to be the chosen one. So you're still young, aren't you? How old are you? I turned 20 yesterday. I kind of became an adult. I smiled sourly. Oh, I'm so sorry. Juno looked at me with a genuine sympathy. I was surprised. Why? I mean, it was your birthday. So what? It's just a holiday. Why do you feel sorry? Juno's face immediately changed. Oops, sorry. It's definitely everywhere. We, for example, consider the birthday a very sad date. After all, we became a whole year older, which brings us closer to death. Hey, that sounds familiar. But in your case, congratulations. Our birthday is considered a holiday. Well, you know, we celebrate that we managed to live for another year. It's a good way of putting it. No one attacked us, no stone fell on our head. In general, this is a big event. Very interesting. How do you celebrate it? Oh, we celebrate the whole evening. Usually the birthdays of all the children who are born on the same date are celebrated all at once. Well, adults don't celebrate anymore. They have their own worries. Birthdays are usually celebrated before the age of 20, but as soon as you become an adult, that's it. You have completed the important task of growing up. Now there's no time for fun. You need to work for the benefit of the community. That's great. I'll write it down. Oh, you don't mind if I study you a little too, do you? Not that this is my specialty. I usually only study nature, but other intelligent races are so interesting. I smile broadly at Juno. Not a problem. How many planets have you been to? Oh, a lot. I've been working for a long time. Due to the fact that I travel through space, I don't even remember exactly how many years I have passed. I don't have any reason to return to my home planet, so I rarely return there. Oh, that's sad. My whole life is a job, but I like it, and there's no time to be bored or sad. Especially when there are so many interesting and unusual things out there. Juno smiled at me, judging by the image on her helmet. When I finished the food, she took the box she called a container and stood with her hands on her hips. So, you ready to go? Yes, of course. I was born ready. On that note, perfect good spot to end out this episode. I don't know how long this is going to be because I don't know if I included the entire beginning or not, but this game is tons of fun. Oh, hi. Okay, well, that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, I'm going to go into this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed my Furry Protogen, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. Always greatly appreciate it. But yeah, this game's tons of fun. It's actually on sale. It's only like $3.49 right now on Steam if you guys want to go get it yourself. And the 18+ patch is completely free. I just found that by accident by clicking in the gallery. I probably cut that out for you guys. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode though. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna continue this to its completion because this game is really cool and it's a new visual novel game. I do need to get back to finishing Nico Jishi. I will eventually get back to that, but that is gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. And watch out.